Alrighty, YouTube, it is the time of the year where I get sick pretty much once a month, if not almost twice a month here as we enter the official first day of December. If you guys can't tell, I am stuffy, I'm gross, I'm sick. I don't know what is going on, whether it's just congestion or whatever, but I feel bad. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get this update out here to you guys this morning. We've got a snowstorm to talk about today across the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, and portions of the lower Missouri Boot Hill area could pick up an inch or two of snow here. This isn't going to be a major system in terms of snowfall. Some areas are going to over accumulate in terms of it always happens when you get a winter weather event. We are also going to have the threat for some heavy rainfall across the southeast and a very low and severe weather threat both today and tomorrow down towards the Gulf Coast around the Florida Panhandle area where we could see an isolated tornado. Wind and hail threat set up again as we go through the next 48 hours. After that, we get towards the middle of the week here. Not a lot going to be happening in terms of severe weather or like big systems. This is probably going to be our big one of the week here, and we may have another one down towards the end of the week. But other than that, we're going to keep things kind of quiet in terms of any major systems coming to the United States. But it is going to hang around as that cold air, and we're also going to talk about that as well as we go through the next couple of days. All right, going ahead and taking a look here at our satellite imagery here this morning. You can see we've got two different kind of dynamics ongoing here. We've got a huge upper level low that's up here into Canada. This is going to be our winter storm portion of things, and this is our moisture coming out of the southeast that's going to result in heavy rainfall. So two different air masses here ongoing, both the same system. If you can kind of see the split in between here, we've got a little bit of dry air across Kentucky, southern Missouri. Eventually, this will be snow for you guys later on this evening here in our backyard. We're going to get some snowfall, but much colder air aloft up here, much warmer air down here. This is mostly going to be rain and some severe weather. Very low and severe weather, and then the moisture moving to the north here, resulting in some dry air aloft, allowing for snowfall to happen here. So we're going to go ahead and break this down here for you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. I'm not going to have a lot of live streams this week just because I don't feel best. So I'm going to be pushing updates out to you guys here in video form, and if we need to do any stream updates emergency-wise, we'll have those. But other than that, kind of going to be a casual week here in terms of streams. All right, going ahead and taking a look here at the Storm Prediction Center outlook here for today. We do have a very, very low end chance for tornadoes and wind down here across the Florida Panhandle. Mobile, you're just outside of that there here, but we do have the beaches here that we're going to have to worry about in terms of that. We've got Pensacola, Panama City, Ferry Pass, Wright, Florida, Brent, Florida here. So if you're along the beaches, we are going to have to watch for a couple of isolated tornadoes later on this afternoon and through again tomorrow afternoon, where we'll have a little bit of instability here along with some wind shear, could create some lift. And there we could have a couple of isolated brief weak water spouts that move on shore. So something we're going to watch here over the next 48 hours. Wind threat also at 5% for winds up to 60 miles per hour, and that hail threat less than 5%. Really not going to be expecting anything too crazy in terms of hail. Outside of that, everybody else in the light gray there will be mostly general thunderstorms. Taking a look here again at our marginal risk for tomorrow, we do have Tallahassee here in that. Once again, the Florida Panhandle, the skirts just a little bit further to the east here. That once again, a low end 2% tornado risk here. We've also got the wind threat at 5% for winds up to 60, and that hail threat again at less than 5%. And this does include Tallahassee, Panama City, Lynn Haven, we've also got Callaway and Springfield, Florida. So if you're in those areas, you're going to want to have alerts on the next 48 hours just in case something happens. We always get a brief weak water spout or something that moves on shore, a brief isolated tornado, general thunderstorms outside of that here as we head east, and then eventually this will clear out as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday. Alrighty, go ahead and play out the timeline for today and tomorrow's severe weather threat. We will have mostly general rain and thunderstorms out there. I don't expect this to be like a widespread severe weather event. Most of this heavy rain will be moving through later on tonight as we see moisture streaming out of the Gulf. This is once again the area that we're going to have to watch right in here for a couple little supercells that come off of the ocean here. This could result in some water spouts moving as land spouts on shore, so something to just make note of here. You're going to want to have alerts on your phone. Overnight tonight, most of these storms coming in between about 1 a.m. and 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then eventually, once the sun comes up tomorrow, we'll have a scattered, isolated mini supercell potential look here across portions of the eastern panhandle of Florida here. And then eventually, by tomorrow morning, this system clears its way out. Maybe a couple low-end threat, wind and hail and tornado threat as we go through late tomorrow afternoon here across the eastern side of Florida and eastern Georgia. But other than that, this is a very low threat. Just want to keep alerts on today and tomorrow, especially through the overnight hours tonight here across the Florida panhandle. And then, like I said, we'll kick this system out of here by Wednesday. So by no means is this anything big tornado threat or anything like that, but just a low threat just to kind of allow for that spin in the atmosphere that we're going to have with a very, very low in instability gradient. So once again, not a very impressive setup whatsoever at all, but just be alert today. Now, switching over to the winter weather side of things here across the Ohio Valley, the Missouri Boot Hill area, and up into the Northeast, we are going to have some, once again, pretty decent accumulations here. Not very drastic accumulations like we had this past weekend with our snow event, but here comes the snowfall already falling across Missouri and Kansas, getting into portions of Illinois and Iowa this afternoon. This is anywhere from 2 o'clock this afternoon to about 5 p.m. this afternoon, and then eventually that moisture is going to start start to shift, and we're going to have that 32-degree temperature line kind of sitting right along the parkway here in Kentucky, now down towards Bowling Green here, where mostly the southern side is going to be rainfall. We will start to see snow and ice and sleet kind of mixed in here around 6 to 7 p.m. this afternoon across western Kentucky, southern Illinois, southern Indiana. This is mostly going to be an all-snow event up here towards Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, but right along the Ohio River is where that 32-degree temperature line is going to set up. But we should see mostly an all-snow event here with maybe some isolated sleet mixing in between 10 o'clock and midnight tonight across western Kentucky. Mostly southern Kentucky is going to be heavy rain down here where our temperatures are warm enough to support rain, not cold enough to support snow, is where that 32-degree temperature line is going to sit out. We could see some isolated snow accumulations from Bowling Green up to Lexington here, but I think most of that snowfall is going to be just north of you guys here. So western Kentucky, Louisville, Owensboro, Evansville, over here towards Cincinnati, you're going to be seeing some decent accumulations, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, but there will be some heavy banding of snow that does set up, especially as we head towards after midnight, especially east of Louisville here and around Louisville here and north up towards Cincinnati, Jasper, Indiana, Salem, Indiana, up here towards, we've got Columbus, Ohio as well, we're going to have to watch for. So this is a very, very quick moving snow event. This is out of here for most of the Ohio Valley by early tomorrow morning, and then this is moving through the northeast throughout the day tomorrow as well, and we'll have some pretty decent snowfall accumulations as we go through that. Alrighty, and taking a look here at our latest Triple HR 12Z run this morning here for our latest snowfall totals. You can see our higher swath of snowfall between now and tomorrow morning here, about 1 to 3 inches. Some higher pockets of 3 to 5 along central Indiana could be embedded in here depending on how those snowfall rates set up. So in this rough range, 1 to 3. Back down here across eastern and southern Missouri, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, looking at about 1 to 3 inches of snowfall here as far down as the Ohio River goes. And then a good decent 3 to 5 inches of snowfall could fall along the parkway here from Bowling Green up towards Lexington to south of Louisville here and eventually getting into West Virginia. So we're going to have to see where these higher snowfall bands set up, and we'll kind of see that as that happens in real time this evening. But just kind of note here, the overall spread is 1 to 3 inches with higher pockets of 3 to 5 localized for anybody that does see higher banding. And then as we go towards like western PA, eastern Ohio, up here towards the Great Lakes, this is where we could see some heavy great lake effect snow happening, where we could mostly see around 3 to 5 inches of snow from Pittsburgh down south towards northern West Virginia along the Ohio River there once again, and then up towards northern PA where I think higher snowfall totals are going to amount. Now, where the higher snowfall totals are going to amount is where the heavier snow is going to set up at, and it does look to be New York all the way up here to Maine. We could be looking at anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snowfall here, where heavier snowfall rates are going to happen at colder air loft is going to be coming down out of Canada. That's going to be the deal up here. So as that low deepens and moves off the coast later tomorrow afternoon into the overnight hours into Wednesday morning, we'll see those higher snowfall rates up anywhere from, like I said, southeast New York, up through portions of Massachusetts, northern Massachusetts, up towards Maine here, where those higher totals will be at. And then, like I said, looking at that lake effect snowfall here, and then heavy snowfall as the actual low moves through. 3 to 5 inches here across portions of PA, with higher pockets of 5 to 8 up here near like Lake Erie, up here towards Cleveland, Ohio. We're going to have to watch out for you guys. So the general consensus is a decent amount of snow for some, lesser for others here. Like I said, this is going to be a blockbuster snow event by all means, but this is going to be a decent little snowfall event to get everybody in the, I guess, Christmassy mood here as we head into the month of December, since today is officially December 1st. So we'll kick things off here with a decent little winter storm. I'll do a full breakdown in tomorrow's video on our global pattern. I'm not going to get into that today just because I'm not feeling the best. So I just wanted to push out an update here to you guys to let y'all know about the severe weather, a little bit about the snowfall that's going to be happening over the next 48 hours. And we'll talk more about what's going to happen for the rest of the week here. It's going to be cold for much of the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, so we'll stay locked in this cold pattern where temperatures are going to be in the 30s and 40s for much of the next couple of weeks here. So other than that, stay safe. If you're down there in the Southeast where we have heavy rainfall, 1 to 3 inches across South Carolina, North Carolina, all the way down to Georgia and down towards the Panhandle of Florida, where we'll see that little bit of severe weather at. So not significant flooding or anything like that, but if you're in the Southeast, you're going to get a good 1 to 3 inches of rainfall as well down there. So we'll have more of an update tomorrow in the video. Stay safe out there, guys. Enjoy the snowfall, and we'll see y'all in the next one.